in Romans chapter 13, he comes to tell them in verse 11 that you must wake up. The night is too long. You cannot just be in the night all over. You cannot be in the night 24 hours. And that is why we are reminded in Psalm 30 verse 5 that every problem that comes in the evening cannot just stay in your life, because that evening we go into the night, and the night we break into the morning. And by the time that night breaks into the morning, the evening of your sorrow will turn into the morning of joy. And that is where we hear from second reading today. I love that reading very well. It says, wake up. Directly wake up. The word of God is calling you by your own name. Wake up. Are you still sleeping? Yes, the night is long. It's not about remaining in the night. That we are not children of night. We are rather children of the day. An Igbo man or woman here will understand better when you say Abanidiegu. And nobody wants to associate with the night. And that is what the word is telling us today. That we see that evil thrive in the night. There are a whole lot of things we do because we want to conceal evil. Stay in the second reading today. And that is why St. Paul tells them, you must stand up. You must be a child of night. In fact, verse 13 of Romans 30 said, you cast away the darkness in your life, and then welcome the armors of light. It's a wonderful thing, and we know it. He came to tell us these are the things that happen in the dark. We should not be identifying with the dark. And then John 3:19 made it flashy there and very sure. He says that evil thrives in, Jesus said during his conversation with Nicodemus, that evil thrives in the night because nobody wants to be caught. Men like to stay in the dark. So, and that's why evil thrives. The men want, they stay in the dark and evil thrives. Nobody that does evil wants it to be open. But then, in second reading today, is a wonderful thing. Is a question that, are you still sleeping? Sister, are you still sleeping? Brother, are you still sleeping? You cannot be sleeping and you are waiting for the coming of the Lord. If the Lord comes and you are not awake, you cannot meet the Lord. You cannot see the Lord. And that takes us to the second point recorded in the gospel reading today. In the word of God, Luke chapter 24. And Jesus tells his listener that this time around, you must stay awake. It's not just that you wake up, but as you wake up, you must stay awake. Staying awake is different from waking up. Waking up is an action you take immediately. But as you take that action, you are now awake. What happens? Do you allow yourself to be drowsy? Do you allow yourself to doze off? You know, there is something we call sleepwalking and sleep talking. There is somebody you are like waking like that, and the person wakes. You think the person has woken up. The person will go and stagger and fall again. The person is sleepwalking because yet, how do they say it? There is still sleep in the person's eyes. And that is what Jesus is saying. It's different to wake up. You must wake up during this Advent. But even as you wake up, you must stay awake. And the another word for staying awake is vigilance. Yet, we are required to be vigilant during this Advent. If you are not vigilant, you cannot meet Christ. If you are not vigilant, you cannot even know when Christ comes. And that is why Jesus made an allusion to the life of Noah. During the days of Noah, people were eating and drinking, getting married. These are human activities. There was nothing wrong. But it's something that made them to lose is actually they were concentrating on those human activities, but they were not paying attention to the things that matter. Yes, it's not just about what they did. They did not do anything wrong, but there is something they needed to do they were not able to do. They lacked in vigilance, and that's where it robbed them off. It didn't pay them. It was a disservice. Why Noah that was with them? Noah was ready, preparing the ark, and then when the flood came, Noah had a place to be. Yet, my dear brothers and sisters, it's not that those people wanted to be wasted. It's not that they wanted the flood to flush them away, but because they were not ready spiritually. That's what vigilance does in our life. Vigilance makes you to be ready both materially and spiritually. And once they lacked in it, they were not saved because there was no ark that they can run into. And that is why we connect it back to the second reading. As St. Paul told us, we are children of day. We should not remain in a long night. And he told us that we must be careful and then come to pull ourselves away from urges, from carousness, from immorality, from rivalry, from also jealousy, and any sorts of wrongdoing.